Hey, this is Halal. This is the last video on the questions that were asked in yesterday's PPSC lecturer economics exam. So it was very difficult to find those very questions on the internet. So I tried my best to get the whole lot of stuff for you. So the first question is, in the macroeconomic short run, actual real GDP may be less than or more than potential GDP. B part was the unemployment rate is zero. C part was by definition the economy is always moving away from the full employment. And D part was actual real GDP always equals to potential GDP. So the correct option to this question was this: actual real GDP may be less than or more than the potential GDP. Okay, coming to the next question. The next question that was asked was, innovations can be best defined as. The first option was the generation of new ideas. Second was the evolution of new ideas. Third option was the opposite of creativity, and fourth one was the successful exploitation of new ideas. So the correct option to this question was this very option, that is the successful exploitation of new ideas. Coming to the next question that was asked in yesterday's exam, aggregate demand is the relationship between the quantity of real GDP demanded and the the options were price level, money wage rate, real wage rate, and nominal GDP. The right option was this, the price level. Okay. Coming to the next question that was asked, if a study is reliable rather, this means that it was conducted by a reputable researcher who can be trusted. B option was the measures devised for concepts are stable on different occasions. C option was the findings can be generalized to other social settings, and the D option was the methods are stated clearly enough for the research to be replicated. So the the correct option to this question was that of the last option, rather the last option, that is the methods are stated clearly enough for the research to be replicated. Okay, coming to the next question. uh, enter, um, Entrepreneurship can be best defined as. So the options were a process that requires the setting of a business, taking a difficult, taking a significant risk in the business context. C option was having a strong vision, and the fourth one was a process involving innovation, new projects or services, and value creation. And the right option for this question was obviously the last one. Okay. Now coming to the next question. The question is, the use of informal networks by entrepreneurs to gather information is known as secondary research, entrepreneurial networking, informal parameters, or marketing. The right option to this question was this B part, that is entrepreneurial networking. Okay. Coming to the next question. The Bretton Woods system, the options were given: fixed the dollar to the gold while other currencies had an adjustable peg with the dollar. Fixed the dollar with other currencies to the gold. Third option was allowed the dollar and other currencies to float, and last option was none of these above. The right option to this question was this, the first option, that is in the Bretton Woods system. They fixed the dollar to gold, where other countries, other currencies had an adjustable peg with the dollar. So it collapsed in 1970, I guess, by the Nixon shock. Coming to the next question, the oldest form of business organization is, that's partnership, sole proprietorship. C is joint stock company, and D is the cooperative undertaking. So the correct option is sole proprietorship. That is, this second option is the correct answer to this question. Okay, coming to the next question. Firms are organized to keep their costs as low as possible. The options were given: comparing external transaction costs with internal operating costs. B option was analyzing supply and demand conditions. C option was minimizing their use of borrowed funds, and D was utilizing the latest technology. The correct option to this question is obviously as shown here. It is the first option. That is, comparing external transaction costs with internal operating costs. Okay, so the paper itself was a very useless paper, I would rather say, as the questions were directly taken from the international websites, where some websites had a paid subscription to see the answers. So I guess the paper setter has not done enough work to make a paper of a standard parameter. So let us see what are the other questions. Another question that was asked was innovative entrepreneurs may have to pay high insurance premium due to. The first option was the need to protect patents. It is here patents, so it is written as patients. B part was greater employee liability. Third one was greater customer liability, and fourth one was greater trading risk. The correct option to this question is the first one. Coming to the next question. Social security can be justified on the grounds of. First option was adverse selection. B was income distribution. C was paternalism, and the D was all of the above. So the correct option to this question was adverse selection. Okay, so as I told you earlier, the question paper itself was not a standard one. Coming to the next question, which of the following is not an element of redistribution with growth policy? The options are minimum wage legislation, B was land reforms, C was progressive taxation, and D was increased access to education. The correct option, which I got from the internet, is the minimum wage legislation. So there are some questions which I actually don't know how to interpret them. So I'm just showing you the correct options here. Coming to the last, rather, this is the last question. If policymakers set a target for unemployment that is too low because it is less than the national rate of unemployment, this can set the stage for higher rate of money growth. And so by this very fact, what will happen? First is the cost pull inflation, second is demand pull inflation, third one is cost pull inflation, and D one is demand push inflation. So correct option to this question is the demand pull inflation. Okay, I hope I make myself clear in this video. So the standard of the question paper was not very good. Thank you.